So now it's my great honour and pleasure to ask Dr. Pillarisetti if he would come and give the closing address. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, members of the Council, the bright and accomplished diplomates and research fellows, and of course, the beaming and radiant family members and friends. Namaskaram. I bring greetings from Bharat, which is also referred to as India. At the very outset, I would like to express my profound gratitude to the President and Council members for conferring me with the college's highest honor. It's an incredibly humbling moment for me to learn that I am amongst the 4 surgeons of Indian origin thus far in the 482 years history of the college, and amongst the 156 distinguished, highly distinguished surgeons and personalities from across the world, including Her Majesty the Queen, to be conferred the honorary fellowship from one of the oldest and the most prestigious surgical college in the British Isles. So I would like to invoke the blessings of my parents and like to dedicate these special moments to my family who are here today, to my patients, to my colleagues at KIMS hospitals in Hyderabad, where I've been working for the past 15 years, and of course to the Indian surgical fraternity worldwide. And in many ways, I think that this is a great honor to Bharat. So it's indeed a great honor to stand here in this recently renovated, magnificently delightful college building, and also to see that there is an image behind me where Henry VIII is conferring the charter, the first charter to the barber surgeons, to Thomas Vickery. Hence, this diploma ceremony is very special. Many, many congratulations to the diplomates and the research fellows here, as this is a very happy occasion. You've done exceedingly well and you've made your family proud. And in many ways, this is a new chapter. To those of you who have just completed your MRCS, you're just beginning your career as a surgeon, and the FRCS, intercollegiate FRCS recipients are beginning a new phase of life with lots of responsibilities as a consultant surgeon. So therefore, I'd like to just mention here that since time immemorial, there has been a traditional custom in India, particularly in rural India, where more than 70% of our population reside, where the doctor is equated to God. And there is an ancient phrase in Sanskrit which says, Vaidyo Narayano Hari, which means the doctor is Lord Narayana and Lord Hari. And that brings me to an important component of the Hippocratic Oath, which is to keep the good of your patient as the highest priority. In this context, I'd like to share a couple of messages that I keep reminding myself on a daily basis. The first and foremost is to emphasize the importance of trust. Patients place their trust and their life in the hands of their doctors. On many occasions, they disclose confidential information that they might or might not confide with their family members. And indeed, they expose their body to be examined and of course to surgery as well. And therefore, it is so important to understand that this trust must be greatly valued. And if I may add, there is no other profession where we witness this level of trust on a daily basis. And therefore, as a professional, as a medical professional, it is important for us to have a higher level of moral code of conduct than any other profession. And we should never ever forget the extremely privileged position that we come from. My second message, I do not need to emphasize here about the importance of medical ethics, but I would like to stress upon the fact that it is very important that no matter how intelligent, how knowledgeable, however skilled you may be, it's important to be ethical in all aspects of life. Because at the end of the day, however successful you may be, if you are not ethical in all aspects of your life, it may make no relevance at all. So it's important to be a good human being. Precisely 6 days ago, on the 1st of July, the National Doctors' Day was celebrated in India, which commemorates the birth and the death anniversary of Dr. B.C. Roy, who is a legendary Indian physician. It's a day when people across the country acknowledge the commitment and dedication of the medical and healthcare fraternity, and also it's an important day for healthcare professionals to reflect upon their career. And so, as I reflect upon my career, which began 31 years ago when I graduated to become a doctor, in fact the same year when India started celebrating the Doctors' Day, having completed my basic surgical training, a fire in my belly to obtain FRCS and higher surgical training brought me to the UK. My wife, who is here, has completed her higher specialist training, and I too completed my subspecialty training in the UK. It was during that time that my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. Whilst inquiring about breast health care in India, I realized that because of lack of awareness and absence of an organized screening program, more than 60% present in the advanced disease, with the majority succumbing within a year of being diagnosed. So to cut a long story short, this was a defining moment and the turning point in my life when, although we had rewarding career opportunities in the UK, my wife and I, along with our family, relocated to Bharat to look after my mother and serve my motherland. So, in doing so, we have over the past 15 years been serving as a living bridge between the UK and India, and it has been the greatest fortune for me to be able to look after my mother, who is currently 90 years old, who runs the foundation, a charitable foundation that was established in her name. Why am I highlighting this? I'm highlighting this because I realize that a significant number of you will have roots abroad, and much as you will contribute significantly as a consultant surgeon here in the UK, but if an opportunity arises for you to go back to your roots and contribute back to your community, I think you would be able to do a phenomenally excellent job and make a monumental life-transforming change in your own motherland. Before I conclude, I'd just like to touch upon the fact that in the hustle-bustle of training to be a surgeon, we tend to forget that there's more to life than just being a doctor. By saying that, I don't mean that you should have hobby, but much more significant in that. Over the years, reaching out to those around me and to the community at large through undertaking several charitable initiatives in a country that I was born and raised has given me the greatest satisfaction. And above all, meditation, talking to the universe, being positive, expressing gratitude, and being prayerful have all enabled me to manifest my dreams. So, Mr. President, in conclusion, I'd like to say that it's been too big an honor and too wonderful an opportunity to be here, and with folded hands, my gratitude to everyone at the college, including all the supporting staff, for the warm hospitality, and I will take back with me memorable experiences at this college. So to all the diplomates and research fellows, I wish you a bright, successful and rewarding career coupled with a healthy, happy, productive and contented life. Namaskaram.
Thank you very much for that wonderful speech. It comes to me to bring a vote of thanks to you. And I have to say, we've learned a lot from you in that very limited speech that you've given today, so much in such a short space of time. You've reminded us of the importance of family and how it not only affects how we practice and how we work, but also in what we practice. You've also reminded us of the real importance of trust, the trust that our patients have in us and that our colleagues have in us. I suspect there are certain people on the other side of the Thames who probably ought to have come to the speech today. We're not mentioning any names. And the importance of being ethical and of being actually so important, just a really good human being. I think those are the words that I've really taken home today. I think we've all benefited in your speech from the experience that you've had, your life experiences, your work experiences, and your great wisdom. So it comes to me, President, Council, Fellows, members, esteemed guests, to please draw our hands together for a vote of thanks for our speaker today.
So thanks, Fiona, very much. That nearly brings to an end our proceedings. My grateful thanks too for an absolutely superb closing speech, inspiring. There is no doubt that you as surgeons will be needed around the world, whether it's in conflict zones or developing and developed countries, wherever they are around the world, there will be no shortage of surgical work for you to do. So I hope you have learnt a few good, helpful hints for your successful careers. Go out and have a great time in what is the most brilliant profession. And you never know, you too might become an honorary fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons of England one day. Please stand up while the platform party leaves the room.